What if the biggest threat to your financial future isn't a stock crash or inflation? It's the invisible mountain of global debt that's quietly enslaving generations, with trillions borrowed so casually it feels normal, but history warns it's a bomb waiting to explode. Imagine discovering how ancient kings erased debts to prevent collapse, while modern leaders pile on more, knowing the reckoning will hit ordinary people hardest. This is the greatest financial experiment ever, trillions in obligations no society has survived before. Stay to the end, because the most disturbing truths are last: the 3 brutal ways debt crises always end, who's really going to pay, and the simple steps to protect yourself before the reset hits. These revelations could be your wake-up call in a system rigged against you. This represents the most ambitious monetary trial humanity has undertaken, yet many remain unaware of their participation. Worldwide obligations, governmental, enterprise, household, have surged to unprecedented heights across civilizations. Administrations accumulate vast sums effortlessly, oversight bodies generate liquidity digitally, individuals commit to decades-long property financing routinely. Society treats such burdens as ordinary, benign, enduring. Reality proves more disconcerting. Obligations have historically served as instruments of influence, mechanisms of dominance, and latent hazards awaiting triggers. The inquiry isn't possibility of disruption from current accumulations, but timing and bearers of consequences upon recalibration. Origins traced to societal dawn. Earliest inscribed records from Mesopotamian era's millennia pre-Common Era documented not literature but accounts who owed what in staples or livestock. Early frameworks viewed burdens not solely economically but reverently. Spiritual and ruling figures supervised, enforced, occasionally annulled via comprehensive absolutions to preserve harmony. Consider, societal continuity demanded periodic fiscal restarts. Influence derived from claims, yet excess threatened stability. Early authorities recognized what contemporaries overlook: indefinite subjugation via commitments risks fracture. Advancing to Renaissance Italian hubs, burdens evolved to metallic and credit forms. Monarchs and religious leaders secured immense sums for conflicts, constructions, expansions. Risks persisted. Iberian power, enriched by transoceanic inflows, faced multiple insolvencies 16th century from overextension. Even resource-flushed realms succumb when aspirations exceed capacities. Burdens transcended individual, becoming strategic, fueling confrontations, altering successions, reshaping boundaries. Contemporary escalation initiated 20th century. Post-initial global war, states bore insurmountable claims, one Central European power encumbered by punitive settlements deemed destabilizing by analysts accurately, as early 1920s value surges directly stemmed from unfulfillable demands, scarring profoundly to influence subsequent turmoil. Obligations ignited disorder beyond accounting. Mid-1940s gathering redesigned frameworks. A dominant post-war holder of majority metallic reserves established parameters, its tender anchored convertibly, others aligned. Stability intended, dependence resulted, global calculations reliant on disciplinary maintenance. Temporarily effective, temptations endured. By 1960s, escalating overseas and internal expenditures prompted unsupported expansions. Observers demanded conversions, straining reserves. 1971 executive action severed linkage, liberating from constraints, constrained solely by faith. This shift revolutionized, transforming finite to boundless. Absent anchors, rate manipulations emerged for guidance, reduction stimulating via encouragement, infusions addressing shortfalls. Cycles demanded escalating applications. 1980s witnessed substantial public growth under various administrations, rationalized for security or renewal. Emerging regions overborrowed, precipitating regional shortfalls upon repayment inabilities. Template solidified, pursue advancement via leverage, struggle upon reversals. Early 21st century turmoil exposed layered exposures, not merely residential, but amplified pyramids. Property financings aggregated, redistributed, hedged, magnified extraordinarily. Corner failure threatened totality, necessitating vast interventions. Irony, reckless rescued, common affected via unemployment, losses, restraints. Revealed as biased preservation. Subsequently, totals tripled recently, exceeding $300 trillion by mid-2020s, quadrupling worldwide output. States, entities, residences contributed, certain like Eastern Island exceed double output publicly, leading transatlantic adds vast annually routinely, developing expose via external denominations to rate sensitivities. Equilibrium relies on perpetual expansion illusion sans repercussions. Consequences inevitable, distort incentives, foster excesses, redistribute, bind successors, current claims on future efforts. Excessive renders repayment unviable, yielding historical resolutions, honest settlement, erosion, renunciation. No framework evades. Contemporary manifestations subtle, deficits indirectly burden via instruments to institutions or overseas, discreetly. Personal extensions differ, enterprise gains often amplified via repurchases. Leverage ubiquitous, upward benign, downward devastating. Promises underpin. Leading exemplars surpass 34 trillion mid-2020s per contributor immense, servicing rivaling priorities. Means superpower funds interest on prior. Parallels continental elevated ratios Southern European, Eastern hidden localized or controlled. Metastasis universal. Psychological snare, enables delay, direct collections or reductions unpopular, extensions appear costless, deferred. Functions until visibility via rate elevations, as post-2022 combating surges strained budgets, residences, refinancings. Dormant threat awakens lethally. Yet portrayed prosperously, educational commitments despite uncertain returns, residential stretches on ascent assumptions, shortfalls irrelevant via unlimited creation. Deception, costless, boundless, secure, contradicted chronically. Futures foreseeable via precedents, inflation subtly diminishing real burdens via debasement, covert levy, politically palatable. Restructurings admit limits, imposing reductions as Eurozone instances. Outright refusals spark disorder, repeated regionally. Indicators favor erosion, burdened prefer real diminution for manageability. Citizens bear via diminished capacity, earnings, prospects, preserving architecture. Ancient maneuver, repeatedly effective via gradualism, abstraction, externalization. Ultimately, intertwines influence, lenders, borrowers, rescued determine. Architecture safeguards influential entities preserved, restructurings favor, leaders transition. Common endure tangible losses. Comprehension essential survival evade unwitting entrapment. Dispel neutrality, consequences inherent. Patterns inescapable, accumulation, denial, eruption, recalibration. Individual agency, awaken or vulnerable. Safeguards, construct substance beyond promises, cycle resilient, insightful, discerning. Framework perpetuates deceptions, awareness counters. Burdens construct, authorities negate, disruptions emerge, orders readjust. Choice, informed or exposed. Accumulations overshadow prospects, learning averts prior fates. If this shifted viewpoint, subscribe Precedence Guide.